Welcome back guys to a hidden base location, rat hole video, something along those lines. Look, we'll dive straight into it. So first one here, more of a sort of just a hidden location here, is in the snow biome, and we're looking at 23.3 and 81.5. Just a nice little thing that you can tuck in away, put down a couple of foundations, put down a bed. You could probably lower these foundations just a tad so you can fit a bit more in here. But going back a little bit further, it's relatively hidden, so it will render a bit differently depending on how far you go back and if you're flying nice and close. But apart from that, we'll jump over to the next location. So here we are in the ice cave. We have a quick look around both ends. So bring out the map and GPS just for those who need it. Let's go 30.6 and 56.1. And if you can see sort of this light brown rock formation there, that's where we sort of want to go. Going just up and over into the light here, and then you can see that there's a location here that you can either build on here. It's a nice little ledge that you can build on, and or you can see that there's that little hole through there. You can see just the end of the bear there. So if we come down here, fly underneath, and we go just up here, there's a nice little lip that we can build on here. So plenty of room here just to put down a few foundations and put down a couple of the essentials things and hide away up in this part of the map. And you can put down a couple of turrets, and the only way to sort of get up here is with the general flyers and tech suits and all that stuff in between. So put down a few turrets and you should hopefully prevent a few people from coming past. But I guess the more you stay hidden back here, hopefully no one's going to come across your location because they'll be down on the ground. But yeah, we'll move on to the next spot. Okay, so having a quick look around here, just to sort of show the area that we're in. Now, our goal here is just to go down there. You can see the foundation that I spawned in just to get to this spot. Back at the GPS, 30, we'll go a little bit closer. We'll go sort of right on top where we want to go. 36.6 and 50.5. Back out. So we want to go down to these crystals here. Chuck these away. So coming in just between these two crystals here, and we'll land where my bed is. And what we want to do is we want to run just behind this large crystal here. Now, just behind here, you've got a bit of a spot where you can drop down in. It's just on the other side here. You can drop down in here. And yeah, you've got a decent little location here for maybe a solo, even probably a duo. Stick down a couple of foundations. Where are they? You know, you can stick down plenty of foundations, plenty of room to work with here. And you can stick a couple of turrets just sort of facing up. So relatively a nice little hidden location for a solo, duo, even possibly a trio. Alrighty, we'll jump onto the next spot. We're still here in a ice cave. Bit of a quick look around here, and we'll bring out the GPS as well. 34.6 and 48.9. Now, what we're looking at here is you want to find this sort of area here. So find this formation of the rocks here. This is our aim. Is going to come up into this little corner here. I'll bring out the GPS yet again. So it's bang on 34.4 and 48.9. And you've got this nice opening here. It's relatively large, coming all the way down here, and you've just got this huge flat area to work with, guys. Plenty of space to run around, do your exercise and laps, and probably put down a base too if you wanted that as well. So only thing you need to do is protect that entrance there, put down a few turrets, just have a weird turret wall facing upwards, and nice little spot. Though saying that, people could probably just put on a soaker, chuck down a soaker here, and let them just sort of fall down and absolutely soak everything. So whether or not you want to put your turret wall in a different location, or hopefully just use this as a more of a hidden base location, or if you wanted to make it a little bit bigger and put stuff out the top here, but then if you put things at the top here, it's not going to be as hidden as what it once was. And yeah, just the location in itself, use it how you want to use it. I think it's pretty cool, and without it being so flat, it's got a lot of potential to be an awesome base spot. Let's jump to the next location. Alrighty, so this location here, relatively hidden. So you can, I've got a foundation there with a bed on it, so that's the location that we're heading in. Bit of a quick look around the area. Now, I'll bring up the map and the GPS. So map location, GPS, let's go a little bit closer, 54.9 at 36.2. Back out just a tad. So you're looking for these crystals. You find these two crystals here. It's the one on the left, and what you want to do is track up just a little bit higher, and you can see that sort of vines hanging down off the rock. Now what you want to do is you want to go in to the left of that, just underneath, and you'll see this opening here. So nice little hole here, and this is our rat hole. So you come in here and it's relatively open, quite a decent sized rat hole. It does go down a little bit further, and yeah, you got a bit of space to work with. So saying that, where's our, was it 3? No, 4. Stick down a cliff platform. You've got a bit of space to work with here, don't you? And yeah, you stick down a few turrets facing this entrance here, and it's going to be quite hard to be challenging this location because it's going to be hard for people to fit in here. Not much room for people to put down stuff, and yeah, just because of the location itself, it's going to be quite tricky to raid. Saying that, let's move on to our next location. Alrighty guys, here we are in a similar location. As you can see, just having a bit of a quick look around, and we're going to go just over here. So this is what we're looking for. This crystal here, come up a little bit closer. You can see my bed already. I'll bring out the map as it loads in. Map location and GPS coords are 55.9 and 36. Now what you want to do is just on this crystal here in the bottom left hand corner, you can see that little gap, and that's where we want to go. So we'll just walk in there, and you can see you've got a decent little entry here. You can probably put a few turrets in here and protect your base, your little rat hole, and with that, it actually goes down quite deep. So we're going to come down here. So if you're able to build in a strategic manner, you've got a fair bit of room to work with, and the rat hole itself is quite large, so you can either choose to start at the top and defend that, or come down the bottom and build in some of the little holes and stuff that you can sort of fit in. Apart from that, the rat hole itself is weird, but very manageable if you want to put down a lot of stuff. You'll have lots of different levels and lots of different levels to build and craft on. Definitely not a spot to have teams. You'll have room for a couple of small teams potentially, but definitely a spot to put down your cry fridges and have those pods. Anyway, let's jump to that next location. It's a bit of a quick look around again, just so we get that bearing. And where we are, we're going to go straight in underneath there. Just a quick look on the other side of this land bridge here. And what you want to do is you want to come in underneath. So we're underneath this bridge. We'll get our map and our GPS coords. Our map location, GPS is 57.8 and 36.2. And just up in here. Ooh, a bit too fast for you guys. Sorry about that. So just coming in up in here, and you've got all this room to work with. It does go up and quite high. It's coming all the way up. You've got a fair bit of room to work with here. So if you're able to build it all the way up in here, nice and high, put down a couple of foundations, however you want to do it, as organised or as wheelie placed as you like, play a bit of Tetris, and away you go. And it's only got that one little entrance just down here. So stick down a couple of turrets right here, and you should be relatively safe for an extended period of time. Alrighty, we'll go jump to that next spot. So I have a similar sort of base location like this that I'm about to show you in my underwater video. Now, if you can make room and build cleverly with this sort of location, then you can build in most spots. Base location, or map location here on the left, and GPS coordinates are 54.9 and 31.1. And we want to go just down here. So where my foundation is, there's this little gap on the side. and there's enough room to sort of fit down in here and go all the way down here, and you could stick down a few things down here. You can put down probably a cliff platform if you wanted to. Makes it nice and flat. You can even probably put down another floor too. And look, plenty of room to work with. Put down all the essentials, and you've only got this little entrance that people need to, I guess, come across. So the likelihood of someone sort of seeing that from up high, it's there, but the potential of them actually coming across it and finding it, relatively low. It's quite a nice little hidden spot, and definitely be using this and utilizing this as an early starting location on this map. And saying that, we'll move on to another spot. Now this next spot, it's not a rat hole, it's more just like a hidden location, not really a base spot, but you can use it as a base spot. Just put down that foundation to put down the essential crafting stations. But here we are, just over in this little area. I'll bring up the map and GPS just so you know where I'm talking about. GPS coords are 58.4 and 33.6, and it's literally just this little hole here. So just enough to fit down. Let's bring out one of these. Fit down a foundation or two. You got definitely room here to put down some stuff and just hide away. It's out of it's out of people's prying eyes. People aren't going to find it. Like, you just look at where it is located, and people are going to fly straight over the top of it. It's covered by all this foliage and trees. Just a nice little hidden spot just to get down those little essentials to get your crafting and I guess metal smelted and everything, so you can go off and build a bigger and better location. We are here in the desert. Bit of a quick look around just so you get the lay of the land. I'm going to go just down in here. So if you're above this sort of body of water here, bring out the map and the GPS. Map here and our GPS. Let's go 75.4 and 42.8. What you're going to do is you're going to go straight in line with this. Going to go straight down here, and what you will do is you'll see this little gap here. Not big, but just enough to put down a couple of foundations. More of just a location to put down a base if you got a flyer and hide away in this area. People are going to probably see it if they come past. But then again, sticking a couple of turrets there on short range will hopefully keep people away and not, I guess, come in and say hi. Alrighty, we'll move on to the next desert location. Now, this spot, just having a bit of a look around. Where are we going? Ooh, already lost it. No, I haven't. Just over this way. So I'll break out the map and the GPS. Map location and our GPS will get a little bit closer. 77 and 41.8. Now what you want to do is just coming down here and looking up. So it's enough room to stick down a cliff platform, and it doesn't poke through the sides, so it doesn't show off too well. And you can only really see it if you're down underneath looking up, and or if you're just flying at this sort of perfect angle, you can just see it. Now I've positioned it so it's only got enough room to come up, I guess, squeeze up in here, maybe with a crossbow. But yeah, you got plenty of room to run around up here. Definitely put down all the essentials and everything that you need. But yeah, just so you can sort of see what we're working with here. Destroy that. Ooh. And this is sort of the area that you're working with. Now, then we're going to get that to fit again, a bit higher. Here we go. So I've just positioned it maybe a little bit too far across that I can't fit through. So I'd have to pick that up and reposition it, but you get what I mean. And yeah, not a bad little spot. I like these kind of locations as they're not rarely used and you don't see too many people utilising them. There's a decent one on Ragnarok and I've showcased that before. So very similar to that sort of base position. Alrighty, we'll go jump to that next spot. So this is the last one here in the desert. As you can see, we're just going over there. I'll bring out the map and GPS soon for you guys. There are a few, I guess, dinosaurs around the area that might not be too friendly, but then again, if you're going to get wyverns out here, you can definitely utilise them to your gain. Okay, so let's move on over here and we'll get out the map and the GPS just for those who wish to see where it is. 76.7 and 41.6. Now, relatively small entry, but it is tall. But the room that you're working with here is nice and flat, and plenty of room to do running. You know, you can run laps for days here. So lots of room to work with. Put down those essentials, all the base requirements, and away you go. You could even just fill in this little area with a complete turret wall, and hide back here behind it. And yeah, you've got a lot of room. You've got even room to land in here with a flyer or two. So yeah, not a bad little base location, guys. So here we are underneath the floating islands. Relatively a known location, but nonetheless I'd like to showcase it. So I'll break out the map and the GPS. Right on here we'll go 40.4 and 73.6. Now this spot, just because of how to get to it, you know, it's going to be relatively hard for people to raid you. You've got plenty of room to work with here. Put down a fair few turrets and I guess deterrents here for people to land up here, so it's going to be quite hard for them to raid. Now you've got a lot of room to work with. You can put down a lot of stuff in this area, so you've got a lot of room to work with here. Definitely useful for a bigger tribe to play with. You know, you've got height. You've got height to work with as well. You know, it even comes with a free pet bird. But no, not saying that. Let's go. You've even got a little bit of room back here, so even your better loot, the stuff that you don't want to, you know, people to get their hands on too easily, crawl through here, and yeah, you put this little area here, back here, to hide away all the goodies. Yeah, I thought this is a pretty decent location. Not necessarily a rat hole, more like a hidden location, but definitely a good base location. Alrighty, we'll move on to the next spot in this area. So here we are, have a bit of a look around for those who know the map really well, probably know where we are. Now, what you're looking for here, just so you can find your way to the location if you don't have the GPS, just looking for this big yellow crystal, and then just to the left of it is this route. Now, where we want to go is just up in there. So I'll break out the GPS and the map, and I'll get a little bit closer for those who do have those. So our map location and our GPS is 44.0 and 73.5. Now this spot, definitely a little rat hole. You know, you're going to have to build some stuff in this area here. Ooh, can't even stand here, so it's going to be difficult for people to sort of raid just because of how steep it is. You've got this nice little area here. It's flat here to land on. It's definitely going to be easy for you to build, and it's going to be difficult for people to raid because things are just going to slide straight off. So you've got all this room back here to work with. You've got a little ledge up here to stick down a few turrets. It's different angles for people to, I guess, be challenged when they are raiding. But it goes further back here. Not too far back, but far enough that you can stick back a few more things. And yeah, it's got a little bit of height to it as well, which is always nice. As for me personally, I'd like to build a couple of levels to my base if I have the room to. Alrighty, we'll go to the next location. So just another little spot here, guys. Break out the map and our GPS. So we're looking at about 43.4 and 77.7. Now you're going in here between this weird honeycomb looking thing. Coming on down in here, and you can sort of see that there's that little clear gap. And we're going to fly straight in here, and you've got a relatively open area and quite a big area to work with. So just sort of show you how much room you've got. Coming through all the way down here as well as coming up here, and you've got a little bit of height as well. Not too much, but nonetheless it is a location that you can use to build in. Now this spot here, pretty decent little rat hole I think. So our map location and our GPS is 45.8 and 73.8. Now by me saying it decent, I like it because it's actually a crouch rat hole, so you've got to enter by crouching only. So it's just next to this old mate here, and it's this little thing here. So let's go into first person there and crouching, and you've got to crouch all the way through. You've got to wiggle just a little bit and you're in. You can stand up in here, and you've got a bit of room here to work with. It's got a little bit of height over this way, but plenty of room to put down everything that you need, as well as it being such a tight little rat hole to get in. Sticking down a few turrets here just as people crouch around that corner. It's going to be quite difficult for them to raid you. Alrighty, so we're over in this little area here. Now what you're looking for is sort of these waterfalls. So if you come across this purple mushroom, there are going to be a few of those around the area. But what you're looking for is sort of this purple mushroom on the right of this waterfall here, and these yellow crystals sticking out. Now there is a little hole, a little rat hole base location just over here. So I'll break out the GPS and the map. And we're at 47.4, 77.0. And our map location. So we've got a bear down there that I've just come in, so it's not down there, it's a little bit higher up. Is sort of follow this up to where it joins, and it's just behind this foliage here. So we're going just in here and we can land. So it's relatively well hidden and it's got a decent entry, so it's big enough to walk in, but after that it does get smaller, so you are going to have to crouch and you can walk in like this. You've got a fair bit of room to work with. Now, if you're able to lower your foundations, there is a way to do that. I have shown it before in one of my other videos. But yeah, you've got the ability to utilize this little area pretty well. And stick down a few turrets facing over this way. It's going to be very hard for people to raid, just because of how hard it is to get to this little area, and just with its weird entry. Anyway, we'll go check out the next spot. So our next spot isn't too far away from the last one I've just shown, which is right there. So just in here, just behind that waterfall itself actually. So look a little bit closer and we'll look at 47.1 and 76.9. I'll put these away, so just my bad to find the location. Just more of a hidden base. It is quite open, but then again, you walk in here and you've got a little bit of room to put down some stuff. It's more just a spot to put down some of the essentials for getting up the resources to go and build a bigger and better base location in a different spot. But yeah, I don't mind this little location. I'll probably end up using this one as well as the other one, and sort of end up taking over the entire waterfall and just having little turrets hidden all throughout. End up fortifying this little area. I think it's going to be a pretty nice little location, if I don't say so myself. Anyway guys, we'll move on to the lucky last location, and not really a location itself, it's just notifying and mentioning a mesh spot. So let's jump over there. So this is our mesh spot location. Now have a bit of a quick look around over in the sort of the swampy area here. Now if you come across this tree here, this is where we want to go. So I'll go down further and actually show you the proper map and GPS coordinates. So I'm just sort of showing you the rough area. If you find this tree, this is where you want to go. So we're going to come all the way down to the base of the tree. Now I have put down a metal foundation here just so I know where I'm going. Just over here. Now I'll bring in the map and GPS for those. So our map and our GPS is 74.5 and 82.2. Now what you want to do, tree in the way, is you want to come in and you want to find this part of the route. And we're going to go in slowly, and you're going to need a flyer or a way to get up in here. But all you do is you sort of just fly up and into the tree, and you're in. I've already put down some foundations, but you're inside the tree. I don't condone using the mesh spot locations, but nonetheless they are spots, so use them to your own, liability here, guys. So you may get banned for meshing, so that's on yourself. Just a warning nonetheless, but nonetheless it is a spot, so by showing these sort of locations, then potentially these will get patched or fixed up at some point in time. Apart from that guys, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you like the content. Make sure to like and subscribe, it means a lot, it helps me make more content for the future, and I'll catch you in the next one.